Optimism has existed and thrived within society. Many look to optimism as a symbol of hope, protection, compassion, to be a guiding light throughout the future. However, if maintained incorrectly, optimism can actually blind a person of their reality. This leads to the optimism bias. Now, the optimism bias is a cognitive bias in which people tend to overestimate the likelihood of positive events occurring and underestimate the likelihood of negative events occurring. This bias has appeared across the world throughout various points in history. There are three main factors. One, the infrequency of events. Two, our sense of control. And three, the probability of a negative event occurring. Now, many of us here are conflicted as to how we view optimism. There are many people who represent optimism. Optimism has inspired many great men and women to accomplish incredible feats. Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Eleanor Roosevelt. One of the most well-known optimists in the world is Helen Keller, an American woman who is both blind and deaf. Yet, Helen Keller managed to inspire everyone around her by her determination to constantly communicate with others. She became an author, a lecturer, a social activist. She even says that optimism is the fate that leads to achievement. But is that really true? An article by Dr. Clifford M. Lazarus, a world-renowned psychologist, says different. He says that while optimism can help reduce pain and strife, it can still backfire on us. Excess optimism, or blinding optimism as he calls it, can actually suppress negative emotions. And while many of us here try to constantly avoid negative emotions, sometimes they are still necessary for us to live. Because without these negative emotions, such as anger, sadness, fear, we cannot be motivated, inspired to improving ourselves and the lives of others. This unrealistic form of optimism plays a critical role in each of the three factors of the optimism bias. Now, every morning, you wake up, you go to work, school, Taco Bell, I don't recommend it, but do we ever think about our car crashing? Do you ever think of an accidental fire resulting in our school's chemical laboratory? We don't, because those events are what we consider to be infrequent, least likely to actually occur. This can be relatively dangerous, as we may be inclined to not wear our seatbelts or ignore the warning labels on chemicals, on flammable chemicals. Now, blinding optimism can also create the illusion of that people can control uncontrollable events and live a perfect life. I'm not talking about like waving the wand like Harry Potter and making our problems vanish. No. I'm talking about people who believe that they have those essential traits necessary to achieve their objectives. So everybody in this room is unique. Some of us can write while taking a phone call. Some of us can paint with our feet. Some of us can sing Justin Bieber songs. But we can't excel at everything. Excess optimism breeds overconfidence. A prime example of this is Neville Chamberlain, the former British Prime Minister who served during early World War II. As part of his foreign policy, Chamberlain gave the country of Czechoslovakia, located in Middle Europe, to Adolf Hitler as a form of appeasement. Now, Chamberlain, he wanted to restore peace to Britain. His optimism failed to account for the consequences of his actions, the result in which the people of Czechoslovakia and the government submitted to the horrors of Nazi Germany and caused Hitler's power to increase across Europe. Now, let me ask you a question. What is the probability that you are developing breast cancer? Give me a percentage, any of you. 10. Another.
20.
All right. Now, given what most of these people get, they rank themselves at the lowest possible percentage. Because as optimists, when we are asked whether or not we will be experiencing a negative event, we obviously rank ourselves as the lowest event without that given evidence. Now, according to the American Cancer Society, the average female is 37.58% likely to experience breast cancer. And as for guys, sorry guys, but the average man is 42.05% likely to develop breast cancer. What's interesting is that when a person receives that evidence provided from organizations such as the American Cancer Society, they still don't change their decisions. Why? I mean, we obviously see the evidence, we see the signs, so why don't we change it based on that? Well, Ryoko Kanai is a doctor who works at the Institute of Cognitive Neuroscience. She has a biological answer to this. So, a part of our brain is called the interior frontal gyrus. It basically controls how we respond to positive and negative information. The left side controls how we respond to positive news, and the right side controls how we respond to bad news. So, as she did some tests with some subjects, don't worry, they're still alive, so she learned that when the subject is presented with negative information, the right side of their brain does not respond as much as the left side of the brain. Because the more optimistic a person is, the less likely they're accepting of these events. So we talked about the optimism bias, we talked about the various factors, we talked about consequences. So what's the solution? Balance. Maintaining that optimism in the midst of reality. It's not wrong to hope. It's not wrong to feel optimism. Yet that should not allow us to disregard the circumstances of our situations. Yes, we should hope for the best, but at the same time, we have to prepare for the worst. Life isn't some Disney movie where everything works out for itself. Life is going to have some breaks, it's going to have some pitfalls, but that's okay. Because when we fail, what brings us back up to the top? Optimism. Optimism is what motivates us, what inspires us to do good for ourselves and for other people. It's not some false reality in which we can dive right into. No, our problems are there. We need to go out there and fix it. Optimism is merely a tool for us to use to improve the world around us. Thank you.